Hey guys, it's Sekaar, and today I'm going to be going over my Magplar build for the Deadlands chapter. Before we get started, if you guys aren't subscribed to the channel, do that. Don't forget to like the video, all that stuff. But yeah, I've been really enjoying this build lately, and you guys have been really supporting me on my YouTube channel a lot lately, so I really appreciate the help. And yeah, hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and let's get on with the build video. Bye. Bye. All right, guys. First things first is let's look at our character sheet. We're gonna have 64 points into our magic. That way, we get the most amount of magic as possible because it's gonna help our Almalexia that we're running as our back bar set. We're gonna talk about that later, though. We're going to be using the Atronach as our Mundus to increase our magic recovery. We're going to be using Artean Pickled Fishbowl in order to increase our max health and max magic as much as possible, and this is the best way to do it with that food. And we're also going to be Vampire Stage 3 on this. That way we are going to be a lot tankier than normal. And you don't really have to worry about the sustain on this with the Vamp Stage 3. It's really not that noticeable, in my opinion. And if it really comes down to it, just heavy lightning tech, a little bit more than normal. Our gear is going to look like this. We're going to be using a Dagon's Lightning Staff in the Sharpen trait, and with the weapon and spell damage glyph on it. So what Dagon's does is increases your weapon and spell damage, increases your max stamina by 1,000, increases your weapon and spell damage again, and also increases your weapon and spell damage by 492 to all of your area effect abilities, which is huge on a Magplar. That's going to be your sweeps, it's going to be your crescent, that's going to be your solar barrage that I use on this build. So that is huge, and you hit like a truck, especially if it's going to be buffed by lightning staff. It's pretty dope in my opinion. I'm really, really loving Dagon's on Templar in general. I use it on my Stamplar as well. Dagon's is so much fun on it. Our backbar sword board is going to be Almalexia's Mercy. I have a powered axe on my backbar and a sturdy shield with using double dot drain poisons on my backbar as well in order to increase my healing as much as possible and increase my damage too. Our monster set is going to be Magma Incarnate. And as always, like I do with all these build videos, all of our body pieces are going to be in the Prismatic Enchant. So we're going to be using a light Magma Incarnate helmet, which is what Magma Incarnate does is you get stam and magic recovery for the one piece, and then when you heal yourself or a group member, basically you get minor courage and minor resolve, so you increase your weapon and spell damage by 215 and your armor by 3k, and that also goes to your group members as well. So that is just some really good buffs that you can have almost up at all times. So it just gets you a lot tankier, and you hit a lot harder too because of it. So Magma Incarnate is my favorite monster set in the game right now. It's so much fun. And that's going to be in the light trait again. Or light weight, sorry. Our chest piece is going to be Curious of the Trainee. That's going to be heavy and reinforced. Our shoulder is going to be Magma Incarnate, heavy and reinforced. You could switch around the weight for the head and shoulders, put like the head heavy and then the shoulders light. I just don't have a light Magma Incarnate shoulder, and I don't have any more keys because I'm lazy. I'm not going to do dailies. Like, what am I, a PvEer? No thanks. Our waist piece is going to be Almalexia's Mercy in light in the reinforced trait. Gloves, Almalexia's Mercy, light, reinforced, Almalexia. Yeah. Legs, Impen, Almalexia's Mercy. Feet, Dagon's, medium in Impen. And what Almalexia's Mercy does is it gives you max health, max armor, and then when you take damage, you heal you and your group members within 7 meters. For on this build, it's going to be 4,400 over 3 seconds, and then that's going to be basically a constant, like that can happen basically on cooldown too, so that can always be up if you're just on your back bar healing yourself. So I am absolutely loving how much healing there is on this build. You just get to put out so much. So it really helps you, and it helps your teammates as well. But so between both Almalexia's Mercy and Magma Incarnate, it's really good for solo play, but you're actually helping your group a lot too. So that's why I like to use this as my back bar set right now. Our jewelry is all going to be in the Swift trait, and all three are also going to be in the Magic Recovery enchant. So let's go over that. We got Dagons as our neck piece, we've got Dagons as our other ring, and we've got Malakath, because Malakath makes everything hit harder, and we love Malakath out here. So again, our jewelry is going to be Dagon's necklace, Dagon's ring, and Malakath. And then our skills are going to look like this. Our front bar, we're going to be using Puncturing Sweep as our main spammable. Don't go into a fight spamming this right away. It won't do too much. I mean, obviously it will do much, but it's not the ideal way to set up your burst and set up your damage. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to hit Degeneration right here, increase your major sorcery, so you increase your spell damage by 20%, so that's pretty big. And then we also have top lane charge on our build, so that's going to be your source of CC. So it just, it's really good. It does a little bit of damage too. So I like to use this as my main CC on this build. It's kind of unreliable sometimes, but I still like it a lot. Plus it's a gap closer too, so it really helps in certain situations. Solar Barrage. So I get a lot of questions on this build of why I run Solar Barrage over Purifying Light on this build, and it comes down to the fact that I'm using Dagons, and the fact that I am usually fighting outnumbered a lot of the times. So in my opinion, Purifying Light is best in a one-on-one situation, while Solar Barrage, while it being increased by Dagons, it's going to be hitting multiple enemies at once. So if you line up your burst with your Crescent Sweep, and then that little dot afterwards, and then Solar Barrage, and then sweeps, you're doing a lot of damage to anybody in the immediate vicinity. Trust me, it is the way to go. That's why I really like it on this build. And then Ellie Drain, this is going to be a huge source of sustain for you in a 1v1 or in like multiple situations if you can actually like get it on multiple targets. So getting that minor Magicka Steel is really huge for your resource management, and then also getting that major breach on your enemies is pretty it's pretty nice as well. And then, like I said earlier, Crescent Sweep just hits so hard, and it's so cheap. I absolutely love this ultimate. You hit like an absolute truck on this thing. I've hit such high numbers with this. I love it. And then our back bar is going to be looking like Channeled Focus as our source of major resolve. So you're going to increase your physical and spell resistance by 6k for 25 seconds. And then when you stand in it, you also recover magic, and you also restore health. So try and stand in the rune if you're taking a lot of pressure. Don't panic. Just stand in your rune and just heal from there. Trust me. Keep that down at all times. Elusive Mist. Guys, I love Mist form. Just being able to go around a tower and being able to just get that source of major expedition, and then also getting that snare removal on everything, while also just getting some space between you and your enemy. I absolutely love Mist. It's really good to just distance yourself and, you know, kind of regroup if you're taking too much pressure. Extended Ritual, this is going to be a nice heal that you put down, but mostly what you're going to want to do with this is going to be what you get all the negative effects off you with. So hitting Extended Ritual really, it really helps you take not as much damage as possible. So that's really helpful. Then on top of that, just getting that AoE heal for not only you, but your allies as well. It's really nice. Honor the Dead, chunky burst heal. It's amazing, and it's also really good for sustain too. So healing anyway below 75% health restores 18% of the ability's costs. So it's so good. It's so good. You're gonna be able to sustain so much, especially if you're especially if your targets are low health. So then Living Dark, guys, Living Dark is so good right now. Living Dark is probably the best heal on this build. It is not only, it's snaring your enemies that are close by, and you're also healing for a chunky amount in a short duration. I'm absolutely loving Living Dark right now. And then Spell Wall on the back bar. This is going to be just a defensive ult. If you're taking too much pressure, use it. Or if you're in a situation where you want to go pure offensive, but you don't want to use your Crescent, and because you're up against multiple enemies and you don't want to die right away, use that, then go offensive. It's really nice. And then for our champion points, last but not least, our 4 slottables for blue are going to be Master at Arms, Ironclad, Resilience, and Biting Aura. Biting Aura is going to be huge on this because it's also going to buff your Dagons as well. So it's, guys, this build is all about AoE, which is also why we use that Lightning Staff, because Lightning Staff buffs AoE damage. So these 4 slottables are which you're going to want to use. And then if you just have extra CP on top of that, Eldritch Insight is nice. Tireless Discipline, get that stam up as much as possible. Precision's really nice. You know, just fill it out accordingly to how you have your CP. Our red slottables are going to be Rejuvenation, Fortified, Boundless Vitality, and Juggernaut. Another one of the main red slottables that I've been using a lot is Pain's Refuge, but I don't use it on this build because as a Templar, you're going to be purifying everything off you, so that's why I don't use Pain's Refuge on this build, and that's why I use Juggernaut on this one instead. And for our green tree, the only things that really are important are put 50 points into Breakfall. That's massively important. Rationer, it's gonna you know, help your food out by 30 minutes. It's gonna increase the time to that. And liquid efficiency, so whenever you use a potion or a poison, you know, you have a chance not to consume it, which, you know, why not save it when you can? Everything else really isn't too important, to be honest. Gifted Rider, if it's a new character, that's pretty good. War Mount is pretty good too if you're if it's a new character too, so use that. I forgot if I mentioned or not, but this character is also a Dark Elf. I don't think I mentioned that earlier, but I think I just wanted to double check just so that you guys know. But yeah, that's the build, guys. Hope you guys enjoy. I absolutely have been loving Magplar. It's my favorite class in the game. It always has been. So putting out a build video like this really makes me happy because this is something that I'm proud of. This is a build that I really think works phenomenally well. And I'm just really excited for you guys to use it. And let me know how you guys like it in the comments, all that stuff. So guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like the video. It really helps me so much. And if you've made it this far, as always, we always come up with a random question at the end nowadays. So if you've made it this far, tell me in the comments what your favorite color is. All right? Guys, have a great rest of your day. I'll see you next time. Later.
In the chair, I'll be sipping it. Watch a bunch of shows, I'm getting it. Yeah, I understand it's a quarantine. I got to be chilling all alone, but I'm getting sick. People who be running after the office, on in politics, and scrambling to tell the kid to stop. I ain't gonna leave the room. I don't wanna kill a few with that. The shit that is inside my cop. Look at the drop, taking it bigger than now, taking it part of the crowd. Don't wanna pop, I don't want anyone down. Better be kicking them out. Look at the box, smoking loud up in my damn house. Solo though I know I'm never going on and out. Party on my own, y'all. Look at all the people trying to hold me back. Hold me back. Going so loud. Look at all the people trying to hold me back. Hold me back. Slow down. Fuck going out, getting high on the weekend. Don't me out. So loud. Oh, party on my own. Party on my own. I'm doing what I'm doing, I don't got a lot to prove. And if I'm moving, then I'm grooving, cause I wanna do it. Stupid, got my music and I lose it to another tune or two. If I don't get to move it, even real can do it. When I'm cooking, then you know I'm cooking bacon. You don't wanna check under the apron. Vacuum the whole room naked, facing windows so people who out getting the greatness. Telling me better to hate this, really though it ain't shit when you could compare to what the other people facing. So what I am drinking, still half full is true when comparing to the nations. Party on my own, y'all. Look at all the people trying to hold me back.